Okay, when it comes to running, what is the absolute best use of your time? Now, whatever situation you're in, it's best to think that way. What is the best use of my time right now? Whether you're studying for an exam, whether you're trying to build a business, whether you're working on your career, and whether you're trying to get fit, and whether that's weights in the fitness room, or whether it's out there trying to get fitter and faster as a runner. What is the best use of your time? Now, if you're the type of runner who's running 2 or 3 times a week, and they're using that in order to have a better body composition, lower body fat, better muscle definition, and an all-round sort of fitter, more cardiovascular strength, what is the best use of your time? Now, when I'm asked this question, and when it's like, okay, if I had 20 minutes to run once, 3 times a week, maybe Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday, whatever that might be, what would the best use of those sessions be? And what I would say is when you see those types of runners in the gym, and a lot of them are trying to burn fat, and a lot of them are coupling that with a weight session because they want to build that muscle, and then they want that muscle to show through a low body fat, so they're trying to burn fat. I'll often see people walking on an incline, which is the right thing to do on an incline. I'll see them walking at slow paces for 40, 50 minutes, an hour and a half, even 2 hours. And in their head, as they've been taught at school, 65% of my maximum heart rate is about sort of 220 minus my age, and do the maths. I've been taught that, so if I stay in that zone, if I'm walking on a 5% incline for a period of 2 hours, I'm gonna burn loads of fat, and that's how it works. It's just not the most optimal use of your time, and it's just not the quickest way to burn fat. The quickest way to burn fat is simply this. So you wanna go into the gym and do a hill session. You wanna get your body used to running hills. So the stress on your Achilles, your calves, and then putting it onto the hamstrings, glutes, the big power muscles. And that's why we're running hills. We're running hills to build the power, especially in the glutes and hamstrings. Those are the big power muscles. And the more that we build them, the bigger that they become, the more fat they burn naturally as we're working out. So we're going to gradually increase that gradient and then get it to something like 5 or 6% and do hill reps. And what that should look like, very, very, very simply, is something like you've got to warm up properly. So your body has got to be ready because you don't want to get injured and you don't want to associate running with getting injured. You don't want to associate running with pain. Otherwise, you're not going to do it as much. You want consistency in your training as well as great workouts. You've got to have great work ethic. And so you've got to get used to that hill. And so I'd start on something like 3, 4, 5%. 5% shouldn't be difficult. Now, no matter where you live in the world, you probably, more likely than not, you've probably not got access to a long hill that can go. So on the treadmill, in the gym is the best place to be. And then what I would do, like I said, warm up properly, and I'd walk for 300 meters. And that'll take you about 3 minutes. Just simple walk, figuring out the body. Maybe you've just done a workout. Don't do it like a heavy leg session and then get on the treadmill and try to run fast or do a hill session. But if you've done something upper body and then you can go onto the treadmill afterwards and shred some fat, fantastic. But get yourself warmed up. So 300 meters walking, just how's my body feeling? How is the relationship between my Achilles, my calves? Engage your glutes, so do everything you possibly can. When you're walking, think of yourself almost like John Travolta, strutting. And by doing that, you can feel each time your left leg hits the floor, you can feel the push off and you can feel the glute engage. And that's what you want, the glutes firing, because you want to tell the glutes during that warm up, hey guys, you're gonna be doing a work today, and that's gonna be building powerful glutes that push you off, and naturally you will get faster and burn more fat at the same time. Super important to note that down. And then once we've walked, then we want to turn that into a slow jog. But as we jog in, we want to think about our form. So what's happening with our arms? Our arms are all over the place like that. You see a lot of runners running like this, and essentially the torso is being twisted and twisted. What do you think is happening to your legs? If you're going like this, the chances of your toe, ankle, knee, hip being all aligned, which they should be, means that by running like that and trying to keep your knee, ankle and toe all aligned, and therefore you're not having pain in your MCL or your ACL, or you're not having problems down the line with those ligaments, you've got to keep straight, and you've got to think about yourself like, what is the most efficient and effective way I can move over the ground? And the hill, the gradient of 5% or above will bring that out of you, because naturally as humans, we look for shortcuts. So if there is a way that we can run that is more efficient and more effective at propelling us up that hill, we're gonna find it. And the way that you'll find that is once you get past that 300 meter walk and you start to run, think about your form. Are you bringing your arms up just past nipple height? So, and they're nice and aligned, around about there. So there is some, it's not exactly linear, it's just there. It's just nice and comfortable, and each arm is about the same part width apart or distance apart from your body. And then what are your legs doing? Where are you hitting the ground with your foot? Where are you landing? Super important to land mid-foot. Land mid-foot, not up on your toes. If you land up on your toes, your Achilles, your calves are going to be doing far too much work, and eventually you will run into trouble with your calves and Achilles. And then again, it's that pain association with running that you don't want. You want to avoid that. You want to be landing mid-foot and pushing off so that your glute is doing the push-off. So within the warm-up is the perfect time to practice that. And then what you want to do is gradually build up to thinking, what am I going to be doing in this session? So the session is going to be 12, let's say 12 times 1 minute. But we're going to be working really hard for 12 times 1 minute, and then we've got 45 seconds or a minute off. So the total session, let's say 24 minutes. 12 minutes hard, running uphill, and then 1 minute, 60-second rest where you're just getting your breath back and you're watching your heart rate drop from what it has been during the interval right down to recovery mode again. Super important, and you're going to be burning fat at the same time. So you're gradually working up in the warm-up to run the pace in which you're going to be running that first and second interval. So if you're doing 12 times 1 minute fast, you don't want to be figuring out the body, figuring out the pace in the first couple of reps. You want to know, okay, in this warm-up, I feel confident that I can control this interval session and I can run 12 times 1 minute at 10 kilometers an hour at 5%, or 12 kilometers an hour at 5%, whatever you can manage. But the key is control. You've got to control it because you want your body to be operating properly. You don't want to be fighting for that, because if you start to fight for it and you're doing something beyond your capacity, even if it is towards the 10th, 11th, 12th rep, then your body's going to be fighting. It's not going to be working in the right way. What we want is a strong, controlled runner that's pushing off from the glutes. The hamstrings are working as well. Don't want all that stress going on to your calves and Achilles. And you want to be in full control so that once we add the progressions, your body can comfortably absorb them and you can move forward much faster. Super important. So once we got to a point, what I like to do, if I'm doing 12 times 1 minute, I want to get to a point where I can run 30 to 45 seconds within the warm-up at the pace that I want to run in that 12 times 1 minute. So I'll say that again. At the end of the warm-up, once I've done the jogging and I'm running a little bit faster and I've maybe got off the treadmill, done some dynamic stretching, drank some water, I'm ready to go, then I want to be able to run 30 to 45 seconds, so 50 to 75% of the rep time in order to know that I can comfortably control that and I'm not figuring that out in the first and second rep. Once I've got there and think, right, okay, ready to go. Give yourself 1 or 2 minutes, no more than that. You don't want the heart rate to drop too much after the warm-up, and then you're straight onto it. And you're organized in your head. So you knew what you were about to do the day before. When the kit was laid out, you laid out the kit for fast running or whatever your kit is to run quick on the treadmill, and that was all figured out. So you're figuring that out during the warm-up, and then you're figuring out what pace. So the pace, okay, great, and that's what you're going for. And then you're off the treadmill, and you're in full control. You're in the zone, and then you're hitting that first minute. And then after the first minute, it's all about control. And then after the first minute, getting off, and you're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. You're trying to control your breathing, trying to bring everything back, get calm again, bring the heart rate down to ideally under 130, under 120 beats, and then go again. If you can't bring it down that much, that quick, don't worry about it. It will come with time. So it's just a matter of training. But you're able to push within those minutes and know that the glutes are doing the work, you're pushing forward, and you're just about on the limit, but you're still in control. That's the feeling. You're just about on the limit, but you're still in control. You still know what you're doing, and you're not fighting for it, as I've said before. And you want a controlled session should look that the first and second rep are the same paces, is the same pacing, the same feel effort-wise as the 11th and 12th rep. And you want to do a really good cool down afterwards. And the cool down should just be almost like a reversal of what you've done in a warm-up. So eventually you're getting around, you're running a little bit slower, you're jogging, and it's a 300-meter walk at the end. Good luck with that. It is by far within that 24 minutes or 20 minutes, however long you want that session, plus of course the warm-up and cool down, that's going to be 2 hours walking slow on a treadmill all day long. It's so much more effective at building the muscle, building the strong glutes, strong hamstrings, building the running muscles, but also building the cardiovascular system. And you're going to melt fat. You're turning your body into a fat burning machine, which ultimately is what you're looking at if you're looking for physique within the cardio work that you're doing in running. Good luck. And if you've got any questions on that, please pop them in the comments below.